This week on TIAA Bank, Jaguars Weekend. The defense gave the Jaguars a chance to win in Indianapolis, but it wasn't enough.
The Colts are going to win this thing 23-17.
Now the Jags' attention turns to the 49ers.
Playmakers on 3, 1, 2, 3. Playmaker.
Jeff Lageman takes us into the film room to break down a couple of big-time plays. Plus, we go off the field with Tyson Campbell.
I'm aspiring, soaking in all of it.
The Jaguars are looking to bounce back against San Francisco. Let's dive right in here on Jaguars Weekend.
This is TIAA Bank Jaguars Weekend. TIAA Bank, turn potential into progress. Geico, saving people money on car insurance has been in Geico's playbook for 85 years. Visit geico.com today and see all the ways you could save. And Cadillac, visit your local greater area Jacksonville Cadillac dealer. Today's game is presented by Renewal by Andersen, the official replacement window and door partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
They could have sucked their thumb and left after the second quarter like you see some teams do. They didn't do that. So I hate to use the word proud, but I am.
After giving up 17 points in the first quarter, the Jaguars fought back and had a chance to win on the final drive of the game. Hello and welcome to TIAA Bank Jaguars Weekend. I'm Ashlyn Sullivan. After the Colts scored on a blocked punt last week in Indianapolis, the game felt over and there were still 3 quarters left to play. Credit the Jaguars' aggressive pass rush and strong pass defense, which gave them a chance to come back and beat the Colts. The offense could not capitalize. A unit that has only scored 33 points in 3 weeks is struggling. How will the offense get back on track?
We got to play better, all of us. I got to play better for those guys up front, for the receivers. I got to throw the ball better. They got to make some more plays. Like just all the way around, we all got to be better. It's not one-sided. So that's a conversation that you do have to have, and we've been having that. And I think we're in a good spot. And I know it's all going to come together, but we're hoping this is the week. That's what we're working for.
Trevor Lawrence did not play his best football against the Colts. However, the offensive struggles are by no means all on him. 6 offensive penalties, 6 drops, 5 incompletions. The list of what went wrong goes on. Everyone needs to hold themselves accountable.
The important thing is that each guy focuses on his own area. You can't worry about, I can't worry about how many drops are happening or what's going on with the protections. What can I do? And if each guy is doing that and taking care of his business, then we'll have everybody functioning at a high level.
Figuring out how to out-scheme the 49ers defense will have offensive coordinator Darrell Bevell busy. But at some point, the responsibility falls on the players.
In professional football, you do the very best to put them in position to go win. But obviously, that's why you respect the players so much. They got to go make the plays. They got to have that, that refuse to lose. And I really believe we're getting there. I really believe you saw it against the Buffalo Bills. You saw it against, I thought last night. I really believe they were in a refuse to lose mentality.
Welcome into the huddle. We're here with Brian Sexton and John Oehser getting ready for a 49ers game where, Brian, this offense is going to have to score more points. The question is, how do you do that? We don't expect them to all of a sudden hang 40 points on the 49ers. They're going to have to get a little creative here.
Well, the first thing is to convert on third down. If you go back to that first half in Indianapolis last week, they had their first 7 drives, 6 of those were 3 and outs. The only way you're going to score is if you are able to sustain drives. So step number 1, convert on third down. And then obviously the running game has to be involved. It has to be something that keeps the 49ers honest, Ashlyn.
Well, the running game can certainly help by getting the Jaguars into better third down situations. Much easier to convert 3rd and 3 than it is 3rd and 11. Stop committing early penalties, the same deal. I think James Robinson is the key. You've got to keep him involved. He has that ability to make people miss. But there's also another element here. They haven't hit big plays. We all know that. But a couple of times a game, an opportunity for big plays has been there. It's a lot of pressure. It's tough when there's only 1 or 2 opportunities. But hit 1 or 2 of those big plays, and you might be able to get over that 23-point hump. They haven't scored more than that this year. Hit their big plays, you might approach that. I think 23 gives them a shot to win on Sunday.
What also gives them a shot to win is this defense. We're at the point now, Brian, with this defense, if they play another good game against the 49ers, we think they're the real deal. Now they just have to go and prove it.
Well, there's a next step for this defense, right? I mean, I think we've seen all year long that they can stop the run. And we've seen a pass rush in recent weeks. But the next step is takeaways. Great defenses create takeaways, short fields, and extra possessions for offenses. A couple of weeks ago against the Bills, we saw 3 takeaways. If you want to win this year without the big play offense that can stretch a field, you need to shorten the field, and you do that with takeaways. That will tell us that this defense is really trending where it wants to go.
Yes, some of takeaways, hard to get here, but it's a little bit on the offense. Offense needs to get ahead in some games so that the opposing offense feels stressed enough to make bad throws, to put themselves in chance situations. Overall, I'm starting to get to the point where I don't worry about this defense. I think the front is something this team can build around. I think Josh Allen is turning into an elite player. I feel like they're going to play well for the most part most games. I think they'll give them a chance to win, but I agree with Schlinn. If they win this and put together a third defensive effort in a row that's really, really good, definitely something you can believe in.
Now it's time for Finding Solutions, presented by UF Health, delivering compassionate care and world-class outcomes. Visit ufhealthjax.org. Finding solutions to one of, if not the, best tight end in the NFL, George Kittle. The Jaguars defense has had trouble defending a tight end, especially one as good as this, Brian. This is a very unique matchup this week.
Well, you want to limit him. There's a couple of ways to do it. The first is through a matchup, and you hope that Myles Jack, who's big enough and fast enough to be able to run with this guy, won't get overpowered, because that's what Kittle does. He overpowers people. I think he's $15 million man for a reason, Ashlyn. He's going to make some plays. But if you can limit his touches in the red zone, if you can find ways to make the Niners work in other places, then perhaps you can take him away, and that would be a good solution.
Well, with great players, I always assume they're going to get theirs. So the solution against a guy like this, stop a 49ers running game that is very capable of getting Kittle into situations where he excels. Stop the 49ers running game, and all of a sudden you're 2nd and 11, 3rd and 14. You're able to get pressure on Jimmy Garoppolo that keeps him from being able to use Kittle the way he wants. So I'm assuming that Kittle's going to produce. He always produces. But get the other guys limited, especially the 49ers running game, where they can really dominate you.
Yeah, what I'm worried about is that you have all your eyes on George Kittle, and then you let wide receiver Deebo Samuel run free. So my eyes are on cornerback Shaquille Griffin. He hasn't shut down the #1 wide receiver the past couple of weeks, but has limited their production at the least. So he has to do that again and really just limit the San Francisco 49ers offense as a whole. It's going to be a tough matchup for the Jaguars, but doable, especially if the Jaguars defense plays the way they have the past couple of weeks. Much more to come from Brian Sexton and John Oehser here in the huddle. Coming up on TIAA Bank Jaguars Weekend, we're in the film room with Jeff Lageman. Next.
Jaguars Weekend is presented in part by TIAA Bank. Turn potential into progress. And by Geico. Saving people money on car insurance has been in Geico's playbook for 85 years. Visit geico.com today and see all the ways you could save. Download Ultimate Jags now from the App Store and Google Play for a chance to win weekly prizes, including game tickets, autographed merchandise, and more. Veterans, choose VA for the benefits you earned. Visit choose.va.gov. Today's game is presented by Renewal by Andersen, the official replacement window and door partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
No matter what people say about us, we're always going to keep on fighting. And that, I feel like a lot of people can say that about their team, but I think it's honestly something that I truly believe. There's people that think that we play bad football and say that we don't have good players, and at the end of the day, we're just a group of cats that are going to go out there and keep on playing no matter what.
It will click for the Jaguars. They just have to play consistent on both sides of the ball. Welcome back to TIAA Bank Jaguars Weekend. I'm Ashlyn Sullivan. From a free agent signing and a trade, the Jaguars have added 2 players who are making big-time plays on Sundays. Return specialist and now wide receiver Jamal Agnew has become a go-to guy for rookie quarterback Trevor Lawrence. And Dan Arnold is playing like one of the best tight ends in the NFL. Jeff Lageman breaks down 2 of their game-changing plays in the Cadillac Film Room.
Inside handoff to Jamal Agnew, line up in the backfield, all kind of room along the left sideline. 40, 35-30, 10-5, touchdown! Jamal Agnew went the distance.
Welcome into the football lab, and Jamal Agnew's 66-yard touchdown run was a thing of beauty, and it kind of goes back to the old-timey football of the Lombardi days. We get a seal here and a seal here, and we're going to run it right up through here. Well, that's exactly what happens on the play. Let's start with the tight end. He's getting a seal on the defensive end. Laquan Treadwell, the wide receiver, is coming down and blocking one of the most dangerous players, Darius Leonard. Now you have to get one more seal to the inside, one more to the outside. Cam Robinson pulls out and around the tight end block, seals the defensive back. Tyler Shatley, hard to do, after a shotgun snap, pulls out and around and then comes back, and he's sealing here because of this linebacker's coming over. So now we have a seal here, the underneath handoff to Agnew, and right in the alley it goes for 66 yards and a touchdown. Let's jump into the film and take a look at it live. And here you look at it from the end zone perspective, and you can see the tight end block, Manhurst, that's one seal, and then Cam Robinson pulling to the outside to pick up the defensive back. That's another seal. There's Shatley picking off the backside linebacker, and there's the alley. The old school Lombardi alley is there for Jamal Agnew. And look at the speed. The safety you would think might be a factor, but speed kills and ruins the angle of the Colts safety, and it's a touchdown for Agnew, 66 yards. The shovel pass to Dan Arnold on the two-point conversion was a thing of beauty. It worked exactly like you draw it up. You got to ensure that he's not going to penetrate because you have Norwell pulling around front side, so you got a vacated spot. The center, Shatley, is going to squeeze out, and Cam Robinson is pinching down before he blocks the defensive end to the outside. And then somebody's got to come up and block this linebacker. Barch comes off, picks up the linebacker. Here comes Norwell to the outside blocking this linebacker. By the way, he doesn't need to block him because the linebacker's attention was all over here. And the beauty of a shovel pass is, especially on a two-point conversion, it's quick hitting. Shovel pass right to here, Dan Arnold is right up into here, and believe it or not, Norwell actually has to block nobody on the front side because the linebacker's completely distracted. Thing works exactly how they drew it up. Now let's jump into the film and look at it live. On the backside, Shatley and Cam Robinson take care of DeForest Buckner. There goes Dan Arnold following Norwell. There's the pitch. Norwell's looking up for a linebacker, but nobody's there because Barch and the rest of the guys do their job perfectly, and it's an easy two-point conversion for the Jaguars offense.
The holidays are quickly approaching, and our soldiers overseas are working hard to keep us safe. The Jaguars organization put together a military care package event with players and staff, so our military are able to have a little piece of home while they serve their country. It's this week's Baptist Health feature.
Home is an amazing place to be when the holiday season arrives. The warm embrace of family and friends makes it most Americans' favorite time of the year, but not all Americans are able to. Some are called to serve the interests of their neighbors and friends and are deployed with the military away from home. Last week, the Jaguars joined with the folks from St. Michael's Soldiers and Navy Mutual to create care packages filled with Jags goodies to ensure those men and women who aren't home get a touch of that warm embrace. Former Jaguar strength and conditioning coach Sean Karp did serve in the military and was deployed overseas and has firsthand knowledge of the impact of that personal touch.
Just somebody back in the States that just shows you how much people in this country do care for our military. And to me, some of the notes that I got, I had right next to my bedside the whole deployment just because it meant so much to me to get notes from people I had no idea who they were.
Warm feelings are on the way with hopes to see them in Jacksonville this time next year. For Jaguars Weekend, I'm Brian Sexton.
There's more to come on TIAA Bank Jaguars Weekend.
Just have fun. No matter what happens out through the game, we playing football and we getting paid for it, so just have fun.
We go off the field with cornerback Tyson Campbell next.
Understand that this is what it is. You know, don't overthink it. Don't overguess it. This is what we've been seeing this whole time. Just believe in that. Let's play fast. And once we kind of calm down, that's all we had to do. We just had to settle in, calm down, and we got into our regular, our regular game. And that's the part that we got to capture early, out the gate, and we will.
You could see it. Once the Jaguars defense settled down after the first quarter against the Colts, they played lights out. Now it's finding a way to play like that the whole game. We're back on TIAA Bank Jaguars weekend. Second-round pick Tyson Campbell was made a starter at cornerback after the C.J. Henderson trade. The speed of the game has been an adjustment for him, but we're starting to see him make some plays as he's getting more comfortable. Let's learn more about Tyson as he joins me off the field, presented by Dreamfinders Homes. Walking off the Dreamfinders Homes practice complex with cornerback Tyson Campbell coming off the defense's best performance, and I'm hearing all about this defense's shift from man to zone, and it seems like you guys are getting pretty comfortable with it.
Yeah, a lot throughout the week. During the game, we were working on zone breaks and running to the ball and having our eyes on the quarterback so we can be able to make plays on the ball. So that was one thing we really honed in on last week. We hope to keep it going.
Yeah, the turnover's coming, and I talked to the draft seems like years ago, but you are a rookie. Right. And everyone says that transition to the NFL, it's all about the speed of the game is really different. But for you as a cornerback to line up against these wide receivers weekly that are household names, that's got to be kind of cool, right?
Right, definitely. You grow up watching those guys, and to actually be in front of them, competing against them is pretty exciting.
And I remember after the draft, we spoke about Shaquille Griffin and how excited you were to learn from a guy like that. Has he surprised you in any way? He just seems like a happy guy that has no bad days.
Yeah, a happy guy, brings energy to practice. Always, giving out tips to the young guys. So, I'm aspiring, soaking in all the little tips I could get to learn from him.
Is there anything that he really preaches to you? Is there one lesson he's always trying to tell you?
Definitely, just have fun. No matter what happens out through the game, we playing football and we're getting paid for it. So just have fun. So that's really the main focus for it.
I saw the boom box come back from London, and he was carrying this boom box. Is this a home game thing now? Is this a good luck charm maybe in the locker room?
The music is always playing in the locker room, whether it be Shaq, Rayshawn, Potty. The music playing, so it just maybe it's a different boombox person each week. But just know the boombox is always on.
Okay, I remember there was always kind of some scuffles over the aux cord. It was like 1 week it was one guy's turn for the aux cord. Do we have a designated guy now?
No.
No.
I guess it's whoever gets to it first. Gets to stay on the aux cord. So that's how it's been this past couple of weeks.
So are guys running in there saying it's my turn?
It's probably music playing right now.
Okay. So there's this thing going on. I'm hearing the drama in the defensive back room lately is who is the best basketball player. There's a hoop in the DB room.
Right. There's just a basketball in the DB. In the locker room, and an imaginary hoop. So
what do you mean by an imaginary hoop?
Nobody scores. It's just you just got to get beat off the dribble and they act like they made the shot. So that's how we keep scoring. Pretty much just Clay and Daniel Thomas been going at it. I think right now Clay Brooks is up right now.
Okay, and how is your game? Are we up there?
No, I think my game is good, but I'm not really trying to dribble and all that.
You don't want to cause trouble.
Yeah, I don't want to hurt nobody.
Okay, so tell me this. You guys are professional football players, and this happens all the time where you guys are getting in arguments over who's better at a different sport. You're really good at this sport. Yeah. Is that not good enough?
I guess it's just to get our mind off, everything and just talk about something else and laugh about something else. Just the competitive nature in this.
Yeah, it applies to all sports.
It applies to everything.
I get that. Okay, so Jacksonville is your new home. Yeah. You are from South Florida, so I don't think this is too much different, but have there any favorite spots you've been to? How are we liking the city?
I'm liking it. I'm enjoying the town center a little bit.
Okay.
See that. Went to the zoo a couple weeks ago, so got to check y'all zoo out.
Pretty good, right?
Pretty nice zoo.
Fabulous.
A lot of walking. But it was good.
All right, Tyson Campbell, big zoo supporter. I'm liking it. Thank you for walking off the field with us.
Thank you.
Still to come, Brian Sexton and John Oehser are back with who they will have their eyes on this home game.
Listen, we're going to bang this thing in right here. Lower your pads, all right? The other thing here, we're going to go for 2 on this.
They give it to J-Rob across the left side, dives toward the end zone, touchdown! Now here comes that 2-point conversion. They want to make it a 3-point game. Trevor rolls right, it's a little shovel pass underneath to Dan Arnold, and an easy conversion. He walks into the end zone.
An absolute great trade for an offensive weapon, Dan Arnold for C.J. Henderson, and it seems to be paying off for the Jaguars. Check out all the mic'd up features on Jaguars.com. We're back in the huddle with Brian Sexton and John Oehser. One guy you have your eye on for this Sunday, Brian.
Cam Robinson, he faces Nick Bosa, who is a premier pass rusher. Cam's been having a really nice season. he's going to need a really good game to keep the quarterback upright.
Yeah, I think everybody's looking at Trevor Lawrence, and I am too. He's been, I think, unfairly criticized a little bit the last couple of weeks. He's hit a little bit of a rookie swoon, if you will. At the same time, the receivers on this team need to get a little more open for him, create more separation, reduce the drops. Trevor also needs to work on his timing and accuracy. Everything will be looking at Trevor Lawrence for the rest of the season, particularly this week after the couple weeks he's had.
Yeah, you'd love to see it for Trevor Lawrence, have the ball in his hands, the final drive of the game, and make something happen with it and upset a San Francisco 49ers team, which is riding high after a big win on Monday Night Football. We'll see what the Jaguars can do. Thank you for tuning in to Jaguars Week, and we'll see you right back here next week.